Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Sir Ridwan and my fellow classmates. Today, our Group 1 are going to present Sustainability Development and Environmental Management. This is our group members, which is me, myself, Nur Zaini binti Norsham, Nur Aisha binti Zulaimi, Nur Filza Afika binti Asha, and Nur Izati Ismahani binti Muhammad Yazid.
Now, let's move on to the second topic, which is sustainability development. First, let me tell you the definitions of sustainability. Sustainability is emerged as planetary, morally engaged, and as involving human arrangement and their impact on natural and social environment, which will resulting in injustice and its concerns in life, death, species, suffering, and oppressions. Meanwhile, development is a process whose output aims to improve the quality of life and increase the self-sufficient capacity of economies that are technically more complex and depend on global integration. Hence, what is sustainable development? It actually describes the process for improving long-term economic well-being and quality of life without compromising future generations' ability to meet their needs. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the history of sustainability development. The term sustainability became the guide principle for human development. It arose based on two existential problems of mankind at that time, which is increasing concern over exploitation of natural resources and economic development at the expense of environmental quality. The idea of sustainable development was recognized by Carl Lewis in 1713, where he edited the first book on forest science. He states that there should be balance between timber growth and lumbering to allow for perpetual use. Karlovic stated that his central idea of the concept of sustainable development is on ongoing use of resources. So how to realize that idea is by organizing our economy in a way that we won't suffer scarcity and we would strive for young growth at its place. And lastly, there is also a disagreement on the meaning of sustainability development ever since the release of the Barnland Commission report. And this is subject to new modifications and was reformulated according to different point of view. Thus, the definition of sustainability vary considerably. Sustainability development means we need to keep three things in mind: economic, social, and environment. In terms of social, the objectives are to end poverty and hunger. This is to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality and in a healthy environment. One method is to increase access to medical facilities, particularly in rural areas, as well as to raise awareness about education, and we should also provide public support. This will provide greater opportunities for us as human beings, but also for the planet. Now, for the next element, which is economics, we need to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives and that economic, social, and technological process occurs in harmony with nature. Hence, we need to be aware of what we buy and how it is being produced to limit the negative environmental impact in order to ensure a balanced and sustainable economy. In order to achieve that, we need to produce goods and services continuously and diversify industrial production. And the last one, which is environmental. We as a human, we have to protect our planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainably managing natural resources, and take urgent action on climate change. For example, water, sun, and wind will always be here. Hence, the consumption of these lasting sources that renew themselves is good for the planet and can provide more jobs for years to come. Thus, it can support the needs of the present and future generations. These three elements that were mentioned just now must work together in order to achieve sustainable development. To make it work, all the countries under the United Nations have agreed on a joint plan for sustainable development, and to make it work, we must all cooperate.
Let's see the difference between sustainability and sustainability development. To start with, allow me to explain more about the sustainability development as mentioned earlier by Filza Afrika. Sustainability development has been defined as a process that improves a long-term economic well-being and the quality of life without jeopardizing a future generation's ability to meet their own needs. It is also a means of achieving sustainable agriculture and forestry, sustainable production and consumption, good governance, research and technology transfer, education and training, and a variety of other environmental activities. What is the difference between sustainability and sustainability development? To begin, according to the definition and the principle of sustainability, it is the ability to endure or hold on to something. Meanwhile, sustainable development is a strategy for achieving the development without jeopardizing our future generations' ability to meet their needs. The primary goal of sustainability is to save the environment, while SD, which is sustainable development, focus on the infrastructure development, keeping the environment clean, and achieving the industry growth. Every entity is required to report the sustainability of their organization. Why is it so important? It is because the sustainability reporting ensures that organizations consider their impact and sustainability issues and allows them to be transparent about the risks and opportunity that they face. It is no longer sufficient to simply make claims about your level of sustainability in today's world. Sustainability reporting can provide four significant benefits to any organization. First, it is an effective risk management tool. Second, it has the potential to generate the savings. Third, it aids to making a better decision. And lastly, it contributes to increase the stakeholder trust. Let's take a look at sustainability reporting of Coca-Cola Company. Their priority sustainable issues is to focus on the highest priority environmental, social, and good governance issues for their company. They evolve and report on their business and sustainability efforts by understanding the risks and challenges. This is how Coca-Cola reports their sustainability to gain trust from customers, stakeholders, and protect the environment. First is giving people options and choices, as they serve from sparkling water to dairy, refreshing soft drinks, and natural juices, including a reduced sugar drinks and smaller packages. Next, focusing on a world without waste. They aim to collect and recycle a bottle or can for every one that they sell and make 100% recyclable packaging. Thus, maximizing the water conservation, they aim at increasing the water security where they operate, source ingredients, and touch people's life. Lastly, reduce their carbon footprint, as they set a target to reduce the uses of carbon emissions 25% by 2030 from a 2015 base year.
Now, I will explain about the definition of environmental management. Environmental management can be defined as the management of the interaction and impact of human activities on the natural environment. Environmental management also attempts to safeguard and maintain ecosystem services and biodiversity for equitable use by future human generations, as well as to maintain ecosystem integrity as a goal within itself by taking into account ethical, economic, and scientific elements. Environmental management is also to understand the elements at issue in potential conflicts arising from meeting the needs while also preserving the environment. Factors to be considered in preserving the environment are through identification, which is via complaints from the community after identifying certain environmental problems, evaluation through inspection with authority bodies, and also by bringing the problem to the attention of the polluter. This is to inform that person to stop the illegal activity and address the problem or concerns, which include the rehabilitation of the areas.
Next is historical development of environmental management. In 1992, the British Standard Institution has developed BS7750, which is a standard used for environmental control in both manufacturing and service company. By implementing BS7750, the organization could demonstrate that they comply with the health and safety regulations, other local and national environmental requirements, and codes of practice in their industries sectors. And in 1996, ISO published the first version of ISO 14001 in 1996. The first revision of the standard has been made in 2004, which introduced some minor changes to ISO 14001 in 1996. And it mostly focused on making the requirement become more understandable and to facilitate the integration of the standard with the other standards, such as ISO 9001. Next, the latest version of ISO 14001 in 2015 has brought many deeper changes to environmental management system. The most significant one is adopting a high-level structure, which is the integration of the standards with other standards. Also, new requirement for risks and opportunities has been introduced, along with the removal of mandatory procedures and other modifications. Now we will get through the example of environmental management applied by Apple, the smartphone company. Apple has used environmental management system by embarking on a bold mission to produce product without taking from the earth. To do that, it requires focus and innovation in three key areas, which are climate change, resources, and smarter chemistry. For climate change, Apple focused to produce product with low carbon design, starting from the transition of product materials, manufacturing processes, and operating system. Apple also emphasized the efficient use of energy where the company wants to reduce energy consumption at corporate and supplier facilities. The next area of environmental management is resources. Apple focused on transitioning to recycled or renewable material in their products and maximizing material efficiency, product longevity, and recovery. Next is water stewardship, where the company will reduce the fresh water use, improve the quality of water discharge, and demonstrate leadership by protecting share water resources. Apple also wants to achieve its mission towards zero waste by eliminating waste sent from landfill at manufacturing facilities as well as corporate facilities, data centers, and retail stores. Last area of environmental management is smarter chemistry, where it focuses on the assessment and management to assess and manage chemicals for risk to human health and the environment.
Next, I will explain about the Environmental Management System certification. The ability of corporations to manage their environmental performance is emerging as a strategic issue for many companies worldwide. This is primarily because the environment is now regarded as an asset to be valued. Consequently, managers today are not only expected to reduce lead times, improve quality, reduce costs, and enhance flexibility, but they are also expected to become more environmentally responsible. In response to the pressing need for companies to address the impact of enterprise activities on the environment, in 1996, the International Organization Standardization, or ISO, introduced the ISO 14001. ISO 14001 is designed to introduce environmental improvement into every aspect of a company's operations and offers an organized approach to manage environmental issues. The focus of the standard is on the entire organizational structure of the business, thus bringing environmental issues into the mainstream of the corporate decision-making process. In Malaysia, There is the same standard that needs to comply, and it is called MS-ISO 14001. MS-ISO 14001 has been established by an organization as a systematic approach to protect the environment, to prevent pollution, and to improve their environmental performance. By complying with the standards, it helps the relevant organizations to comply with legal requirements set out by Environment Quality Act 1974 and the relevant regulations. Any organization of any size in Malaysia should apply this standard. With proper implementation of the systems, organizations will save more on product materials due to better product input processing, substitution, and recycling of byproducts and waste. An organization would also emphasize on energy consumption, cost for emissions, discharge, waste handling, transport and disposal, and reduce costs on relevant audits and environmental liabilities.
Human activity is required for sustainable development and environmental management. When the environment is properly managed in man's quest to meet his needs, the ecosystem is preserved, allowing for long-term development. On the other hand, irresponsible use of natural resources through human activity will harm the environment. The end result will be poverty and hunger, deforestation, pollution, resource depletion, and a general decline in population welfare. This usually requires a reconsideration of man's methods of coexisting with the environment without causing a natural conflict. Better methods of dealing with the environment are necessary.
To conclude, sustainable development concerns with people, their well-being, and equity in their interactions with one another in an environment where nature-society imbalance can threaten economic and social stability. While for environmental management, it is a tool that enables institutions to anticipate and avoid problems in a proactive rather than reactive manner.
I think that's all from our group. Thank you for your contribution and have a nice day. Goodbye.